Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. How are you all? Blessings, blessings, peace, love, joy, peace and hair grease. Peace, love, and hair grease for those of you guys that remember Soul Train. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It's been a minute. It's been a long minute. I'm just going to put my phone here so I can see the chat a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Everything sounds good. Everything, from what I can see, looks good on the screen. Welcome. I wasn't here this past week, and for those of you that are watching that usually catch me at other times on Sundays, we had technical difficulties, and for some strange reason, YouTube just wouldn't let a girl on. I'm not sure why. Wouldn't let me on, and it was just really bad technical difficulties. So I apologize for that, but I didn't want the rest of the week to go by without having some discussions with you guys about some things that have been on my mind and been on my heart. So welcome everyone that's in the chat, and welcome Anna, welcome Ceresia, and welcome Monica, and welcome Wiggy, and we're going to let the notification go out a little bit more. Hello, Miss Nancy. So we're going to let the notification go out a little bit more, and we're going to get into things. This to me was it's an important discussion to have because we're seeing, and this is kind of giving you all a sneak peek into the direction of that this channel and the content on this channel is going to be going. I've been doing tarot readings and things of that nature, and we've been doing astrology and then doing a lot of teaching, and I will still continue to do that. However, we're going to be doing it from this perspective, and everything that we do on this channel and then in Lightworker Academy and everywhere else is going to be done from the perspective of getting you prepared for the new earth, for new world, for fifth dimensional living on a full-time basis. And it's everything that we're doing from this moment forward is going to be geared towards assisting yourself, assisting humanity, the collective in that transition. So any of the upcoming interviews that we're going to be having on the Sunday Soul podcast, any panel discussions that we're going to be having on what is to be a strong lightworker toolbox. Anytime you see me appear on anyone else's podcasts, that is really going to be for the purpose of higher dimensional life. And it's going to be for the purpose of helping you tap into that fifth dimensional living. And really, I want to talk about utilizing some of the tools that we have, modalities we have right now, and that we're using in a very third dimensional way, and what that potentially could or should look like as we go forward into fifth dimensional living. So the first one of those is that I want to talk about that's listed is Reiki. Now, those of you that are hearing me now and those of you that'll see me later, Reiki, right, is the practice of laying on of hands. Reiki is not witchcraft or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with witchcraft. As long as you're not doing it to harm somebody else. There's nothing wrong with it. Well, anyway, but it's laying on of hands. It's not going to send you to hell. It is literally channeling universal life energy, and you're the vessel. And the recipient is the recipient, right? Your client is the recipient. It is ancient. It is of spirit. It is wonderful and beautiful. It is magnificent. It is a wonderful way to help facilitate healing. Reiki, up until recently, has been primarily used, in the revelation of it was primarily for physical body healing. Okay, for physical body healing. And it still can be used in that fashion. Very much so. However, there's been a lot of us as practitioners that have begun to use Reiki in higher dimensional ways and methods, and really tapping into our fifth and higher dimensional selves, into that fifth density, into the space where energy is energy, more purely just energy and less density. As you go higher in the dimensions, the less dense life becomes. The less dense life becomes. And understand this. Sometimes, I'm sure some of you under the sound of my voice have felt like you're just trapped in this really dense and thick world. That being here on earth and in your human form is cumbersome. Probably some of us have felt irritated by it. And you just wish you could kind of shake it off. So that's because of the density of the energy in order to create the level of solidity, of solid matter that we are, or that we perceive that we are. So as you go higher, it becomes less dense. It becomes more fluid. It becomes less filled with karma and shadow. It becomes less dense. There is not the greater need for polarity or the greater need of polarity for the purpose of facilitating life. What does this have to do with Reiki? Reiki, therefore, as we are becoming higher evolved beings, Reiki and the administration of Reiki, therefore, must evolve to a higher level. Now, some of y'all might not be very interested in, but hopefully some of y'all will become very interested in it. Reiki in and of itself can no longer solely be looked at. I'm sorry, guys, it's been a long day. Can no longer solely be looked at as a method of energetic healing practice for the physical body only. It must now be looked at as energetic healing for the energy body and the aura that sometimes, a lot of times, most of the time, will have the side effect of healing your body as well. And the vessel through which it is being channeled is just that, the vessel. And I'm going to take it one step further, that healing energy that's being channeled, the universal life force that's being channeled, beloved, is your higher self or your spirit being in tune with, attuned to source energy, source, Mother, Father, God. There is a solid and powerful link that is then created as you have attuned and you're in tune to that higher frequency. And that is the energetic flow that's coming through you. And then connecting to your patient, your client. In other words, universal life energy is us, and we are universal life energy. The all is the all. We are all part of the all. Watch the intro to the 7 Hermetic Principles. I'll be finishing those up and dropping them this weekend. That's thinking about that, and thinking about administering Reiki or channeling Reiki energy, which is really just universal life force energy. It's nothing, woo-doo-doo-doo. I think sometimes we make too much of things. We make it much more complicated, and we make it much more like, than it needs to be. Because we ourselves allow our ego to get in the way. Hello, somebody. Our ego gets in the way. Reiki, in fact, and then we're going to link that with everything. Reiki then becomes you operating at your highest self in concert and connection with Source. Hey, Tamika. Hey, Red Violet. That's what this becomes. Fifth dimensionally, there's no difference between, fifth dimensionally, there's less of a difference between you as an aspect of Source and Source, because you are that much closer and less dense to your originating energy and the energy that permeates all and sustains life, creates life, right? And creates everything around us. That's awesome. Yes. So the fifth dimensional Reiki practitioner, or the Reiki practitioner in the new world, in the new earth, is going to be keenly in tune with and attuned to the frequency of creation in the universe, and be keenly in tune with and attuned to that frequency and the delivery thereof from fifth dimension into third dimension, or whatever level of density we're operating in. In other words, you are going to assist in the literal creation, recreation, transition, and or transformation of others' energetic worlds, their energies, period. This is different from just laying on of hands for physical healing. This is not limiting you to that. This is also not limiting Reiki to being this, for some folks, Reiki practicing has become a bit of a religion. And that was never the intention, ever. I'm a 7th generation Usui master teacher. Never the intention. Usui, only Usui, not Holy Fire, not this, not that, not Crystal Reiki, not all of this. I'm talking about straight on, regular schmegular Usui Reiki. Hey, Allie Kane. Thank you, baby. It was never intended to be this religion that it's kind of become. And the moment we put all of these religious practices on top of it, then we make it of none effect. We basically take the power out of it, because now we're putting so much of our third dimensional structure all over it. So Reiki in the fifth dimensional sense, Reiki in the fifth dimension, in fifth density, new earth living, is very much aura to aura, frequency of creation and facilitation and manifestation of energetic healing for physical healing as a secondary option. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do really quick, give me 1 minute, because this coming weekend we're having a Reiki and meditation weekend. I will be attuning people, and you'll see here to all levels. I've got a way of doing that. And then we have Diamond Ray is going to, one of my students in the academy, in the certification program is going to be teaching on meditation, guided meditation, so using guided meditation, other meditation methods, specifically though for astral travel. So it's 2 days. You'll see this information. Just give it 1 minute. Don't go anywhere.
So many people ask me, how do I become an energy healer? And honestly, it's not as difficult as you may think. My name is Dr. Lisa Brewer, and I am hosting April 17th and 18th, a Reiki and meditation weekend for just $150, the cost of a Reiki attunement. Either become Reiki 1, 2, or master teacher attuned in the original Usui method. This is just you, spirit, and your higher self connecting in a beautiful way to be able to channel universal life energy to heal and empower yourself, but your clients as well. And also, as part of this weekend, we're giving you a wonderful opportunity to go deeper into your meditation practice. If you've wanted to practice astral travel, if you wanted to go really deep within, this is the opportunity for you. I want you to go to heartofinspiration.net and register today. Namaste.
So that's happening this weekend for just $150. When we're done here, go to heartofinspiration.net. You can go now, click on that box and register today. So you're going to get the Reiki attunement plus the meditation training for $150. It goes from 10 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern, both days, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so we've talked about Reiki, and that we are to be higher dimensional channels, okay? And be attuned from our higher self to creation energy, not just universal life energy, creation. Hey, Angelica, doing much better now, thank you. I want to talk about meditation from the fifth dimensional perspective as well, from this new earth perspective. This is another reason why we're doing this weekend. Because meditation, it needs to start to become the norm that you have an out of body, so to speak, experience in whatever method that's right for you, and whatever, however that feels to you. For instance, some people have out of body experiences and they literally feel like they're floating. Other people have this out of body experience and they don't necessarily feel like they're floating, but they just know they've been somewhere. Okay? It can happen in multiple different ways. I don't want you to feel that, conviction somehow. If you're like, Lise, I've never actually felt like I was outside of my body. That's okay. However you're going to work with it, you're going to work with it. But the important thing is that you are keenly and highly aware of, or allowing your higher self to be keenly and highly aware of the connection, again, the life, the reality that your higher self, your auric field, your spirit, your energy being isn't tied here. Like, it isn't confined to here. It will reach higher heights, deeper depths, wider widths. It will go out and does go out. Your energetic self can go wherever you want it to go. We have to be aware of the fifth dimension that the higher dimensions that we truly honestly live in, because we're not really living per se reality in the third dimension. The third dimension is temporal and it can change. Meditation needs to become a situation where you and your higher self is so accustomed to being at home and being acknowledged that it is at home, and talking to your spirit guides and talking to your team, your ancestors, your angels. Okay? Your guides, and to source, to being in touch with the other aspects of yourself, so that as you're existing now, you can draw on all of these beautiful spiritual aspects and then have this amazing life. Thanks, Joanna. Have this amazing empowered life. But we are transitioning from third density to fifth density. We're transitioning a lot faster than I believe any of us that have been in the know on this have thought we ever would. And the way to be able to assist yourself greatly, and one of the ways, and the collective, is through meditation. And it's time to let yourself experience it at the highest level that you can at the moment and grow in it. And again, this is why we're having this weekend. Astral travel should at some point no longer be a myth and a mystery, but a method and a mode of actual transportation. Well, Allie says, let me go over here because I'm not even in the comments. Allie says, my spirit guides always lead me to you at the right time. Well, they must be leading me to get on, honey, because I ain't been on here in a hot minute. Astral travel should just be just as common as you submitting your passport at the TSA checkpoint and going on and getting on that plane and going on to another country. It should be just that, it should get to be just that normal. And why, Lisa? Because in fifth density life, we then can interact easier in an easier fashion with our star seed or inhabitants of other systems. I don't know if y'all are paying attention, but there's been a lot of UFO sightings lately. Have y'all been paying attention? Have y'all been paying attention? We've been visited quite a bit. And the visitations haven't stopped, nor have they slowed down. In fact, they're getting to be more frequent. We had better figure this out quickly. Fifth density living is astral travel. It is getting in your Merkaba, and it is going, and it is traveling, and it is saying, okay, I'm going to go where my guides are in that plane, where my brothers and sisters are out there on Sirius A and B, or out in the Orion system, or in the Palladian system. And I'm going to travel back in time and be with my Lemurian and Atlantean brothers and sisters, or be in touch with those that are still here but not here. I'm going to travel through the eternity that is my existence, because we are eternal beings. And I'm going to travel, and I'm going to go and get and bring back and get and bring back those tools and abilities that I had as aspects of myself when I was incarnated in the past, and bring them to the future. I'm going to choose to come up high enough and vibrate and meditate at a frequency high enough to clearly see what is of my highest good, and then clearly set that into motion to traverse, fourth dimension. Excuse me, fourth dimension, and manifest it here. Okay? Excuse me, sorry. It's been a long day. Now my voice is getting a little harrowed. Meditation in the new world is higher and deeper, more fulfilling, and taps you into the quantum realm. Period. Taps you into the quantum realm. That's manifestation. So we talked about Reiki, we talked about manifestation, good Lord, meditation, all the same thing. Meditation is also the place where you take your dreams, your imaginations, and make them come true, because your dreams are actually the truth. Your dreams are more real than you understand. That is your subconscious mind. Your dreams are more real than you understand. Yeah? Much more real than you understand. Now, the final part I wanted to talk about was astrology in the fifth dimensional world, or the new world. I would sing, but you hear me hacking. Astrology in the new world. As you know, when I'm talking about the astrological transits lately, I keep referencing fifth dimensional. I keep saying we've got to be looking at the transits from a fifth dimensional perspective. We cannot continue to look at them from only and solely a third dimensional, selfish, self-centered, self-serving way. The service to self world of the third dimension is going away quickly and transitioning into the service of others. That doesn't mean that self becomes completely unimportant or that you shouldn't have boundaries. That simply means we must look at everything in relationship to the collective, because my actions affect you and everyone else in the collective. It sends out a ripple effect into the ether. Yours does as well. What does it have to do with astrology? Well, by and large, we've only used astrology for the most part. For what? The purpose of what? Horoscopes. For the purpose of what? So we know what the heck's going on. It's all about us. And a lot of times, even when we're looking at the transits for our sign for an upcoming month, it's still being done from a rather personal point of view. So they may discuss things like Saturn and Jupiter and Neptune and Pluto and Uranus, but only in relationship to you as an individual. Only in relationship to that. That's pretty selfish. Because especially the outer planets are generational. And the outer planets have stronger, their energies are different because they're generational, and so they're more of a widespread collective effect. And so those that have been looking at things from a mundane perspective, I mean, there's some people that have been doing it for quite some time. That would be, like Leo King and so on and so forth. From the mundane perspective or global perspective, and then historical, because a lot of these transits, a lot of the transits and aspects that we've been seeing now over the last 2 to 10 years, well, certainly from now, I would say about the last 5 years, definitely over the last 2 years, have been transits we've not seen in our generation, and no one will see them again for hundreds and maybe in thousands of years. I have heard about the 13th sign. I don't. Nah. Nah. I don't know. I don't use it. Some do. I'm not trying to upset the apple cart at this point. But we've been looking at it from that perspective. And like I said, the Leo King, and there's some others that have been looking at it. I think it's Chris Brennan, Brennan. Looking at it from a much more global perspective and historical, so we can kind of ascertain a little bit of what we can expect. But that only gives us so much, and we've got to then start looking at it and interpreting it from a fifth dimensional point of view. So instead of looking in the vacuum and saying, oh, my horoscope, God dang it, Saturn is going into retrograde next month in Aquarius, and that's gonna square my moon. Oh my God, I gotta blah, 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 blah. No, cut it out. It's not just you. We have to be concerned about what it's doing to the entire collective, because it is literally affecting the entire globe. I hate to bust your bubble, but it's affecting the whole globe. We're evolving. We're taking huge leaps up. We can't sit here and act like we're not. We can't sit here and act like the only thing that matters is our natal chart and, our love and career and money horoscopes when you get it off of horoscope.com. That's very third dimensional. Not that we shouldn't have love, not that we shouldn't have a career, not that we shouldn't have money. That ain't the point. What I'm saying is, as we're transitioning from service to self to service to others, okay, we have to look at these things from the perspective of how is it affecting the collective, how is it affecting our ascension, how is it affecting our awakening, how is it affecting the shadow war, as Ralph Smart says, the inorganic ones. What empowerment are they going to be able to get from it? Because if we're getting an empowerment from it, they are as well. It is two sides to everything, right? Polarity. There's duality on this earth. There's two sides to everything. We have to see, what is this bubbling up shadow-wise? What is this bringing up from the light? Where is this meeting in the middle? How is this assisting us in our evolutionary process? Is this something we need to be, I would say, watchful for in the evolutionary process of the shadow as well? Because both come up. The inorganic ones both come up at the same time, because it must meet, it must be balanced. We have got to look at it from that point of view. Stop looking at these transits. Stop looking at these transits from just this third dimensional concept. Me. You're doing yourself a grave disservice, because you're not tapping into the flow of energy that's being afforded to you to assist you with your ascension, growth, awakening process, light code, the DNA code or DNA activation, DMT, production, all of these things. This ascension into crystalline living, you're not going with that flow. We must learn to go with that flow of the energies that are being presented to us and roll with them from our highest good. Because if we take care, if we're looking at it from that perspective, then then our personal will be taken care of. But if you've been wondering, well, why the heck have things been going haywire, or were things going haywire for darn near 2 years, it felt like, well, you know what? Saturn had been parked its behind in Capricorn for a really long time. It was tough. Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter all being in Capricorn. Pluto and Saturn being in there the longest. You know, that's a lot of change. There's a lot of foundational change. There's a lot of upheaval. And we had to look at things from a different perspective. So I'm going to ask you, as we go through all of these things, that we begin to see how the global is affecting the individual and how the individual, again, is affecting the global. And we begin to look at it from an intuitive level. So when you hear someone talking about Mercury's going into retrograde, I don't want. Okay, fine. Technology and short-term travel and blah, 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 blah. Can we look at it, though, from a little bit of a bigger picture? And also say, what are we communicating? What are we thinking? What are we reviewing? How is that playing into our lives? All those sorts of things. Allie, you've been emotional for weeks. Well, there's a lot that's going on, Allie. I mean, you know, honestly, Mars has been in Gemini for a while. That's been tough. We've had some really harsh transits, and I say harsh because they're showing us it's propelling us to do better. It's propelling us to do our best. It's propelling us to get into position. And it's also forcing us to look at things from a more unified perspective, or that things need to change. Yep, the IC. The IC. Mercury retrograde. Yeah, you know, you gotta start embracing the retrogrades in a positive way. Retrogrades are positive. They give us a chance to stop, rewind, reset, review. They give us a chance to pump our brakes. They give us a chance to see what other people's true motives are. They're good. I love a good retrograde. I don't claim all the rest of the garbage. I love a good retrograde. And we'll continue to have lots of synchronicities. Why? Because we're being drawn to live in our purpose, guys. Bottom line. All of this stuff is living from our higher self, our higher perspective, our highest good. That's it. So all of these things in the new world are really, in the new earth, are really about allowing what we have thus far called our intuition to be our actual guide. Well, thus far, what has been the third eye and that mysterious, that should be the main sight that you use, not your physical sight. Because all of this is going to change in an instant. In an instant. Okay? So I'm going to play that one more time for those people that didn't see it earlier. We do have this we do a Reiki weekend coming up with meditation, teaching. Okay, so I'll be attuning people to whatever, or auditing in the standard Usui methodologies. Usui method, nothing extra. Be attuning you, and then also we're going to be training and giving you guidance and teaching on meditation, and specifically meditation for astral travel. So watch this. You're going to want to register at heartofinspiration.net. Here you go.
So many people ask me, how do I become an energy healer? And honestly, it's not as difficult as you may think. My name is Dr. Lisa Brewer, and I am hosting April 17th and 18th, a Reiki and meditation weekend for just $150, the cost of a Reiki attunement. Either become Reiki 1, 2, or master teacher attuned in the original Usui method. This is just you, spirit, and your higher self connecting in a beautiful way to be able to channel universal life energy to heal and empower yourself, but your clients as well. And also, as part of this weekend, we're giving you a wonderful opportunity to go deeper into your meditation practice. If you've wanted to practice astral travel, if you wanted to go really deep within, this is the opportunity for you. I want you to go to heartofinspiration.net and register today. Namaste.
All right, guys. So that's what we're doing this weekend. So I hope all of you can join us and go to heartofinspiration.net to register. I will take a couple of questions here, and then I'm going to get going because my son's coming home tomorrow. So we're all getting ready for that. And I've got some work I have to do, and I don't want to keep my friend up. So do we have any questions here in the chat? I'm kind of looking in both. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this one up, and then you'll be seeing much more of me. Much more. Because I just wanted to come on, and again, so the channel is going to be going in the direction of fifth dimensional living, fifth density living, and assisting you there. So anything that I do is going to be for that purpose. And, it may be that I don't pull any more tarot, or it may be that how I do the tarot is going to be different, but I have to be authentic to myself, and I have to be authentic to you guys in assisting you in your ascension walk. Oh, certainly. So it is. It is the Usui method, USUI. It is the original. Dr. Usui was the one that received the revelation of Reiki in the 1800s. And so it's not Usui Holy Fire, not Usui yada, yada, yada. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of those. I'm just saying that this is just the original. And it is literally you channeling spirit. You channeling spirit. Yeah, thanks, Therese. Yeah, we've got some folks that have been in on my Reiki attunements in here. The meditation class is new, so we're going to be doing that for the first time, and then hopefully doing it more often afterwards. You're very welcome, Allie. All right, guys. Well, listen, don't forget to go to heartofinspiration.net and go register and get your tickets. Get your ticket. Go register and all that kind of good stuff. Please be sure you put a good email address in your registration form, because that is the place where I will be sending the link. I'll be sending the link out on Friday afternoon. We're going to be using a platform called Blue Jeans by Verizon. I absolutely love them. And I'm not getting paid to say that, but Blue Jeans really allows you to do some really cool things. So we're going to be utilizing that platform, and I'm pretty excited about that whole thing. But put a good email address in there, because otherwise I will have zero way of getting this information to you on how to get in. Okay. Oh, wonderful. I love you too, Miss Allie. I love you too, Miss Allie Kane. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get it on out of here and mosey on down the road. Okay, and we will see each other again very soon. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so very, very much. Namaste. Bye-bye.